And you know, as usual, now here's what I think. You know, I know you're gonna say I'm repeating myself here, but the general idea with this video, it's to talk about certain experiences of gaming, experiences of gaming, and this will be I will go back to I think it was the year of 1998. I have some memories from 1998, and one of them is that I went through surgery, a difficult operation during that year, and this was spring or summer. I don't actually remember, and I had sent out my father to find Sonic 3D, to pick up Sonic 3D for me because I needed to be playing and to keep playing, not to think about the pain in legs or hips, whatever, foot, whatever this piece of surgery was about. The thing, however, is that when Sonic 3D was not available, I got into that sometime later, more into it later on. But this is a story about a different game. That game is it's this game. It's this game. I don't know if you can see it from here, but it's a Sonic game too. It's Spinball, Sonic Spinball, and I had wanted this game for a long time also, but it was the second option. I wanted first and foremost I wanted Sonic 3D, and now I have Sonic 3D. I mean, that's not an issue now anymore. But the thing is that I wanted this as priority number two. The game is here, Sonic Spinball, as I told you earlier. And the thing is that I learned to be so good at this game from just playing, every day. And I have ADHD, so it's difficult. Like it's difficult to sit through playing a game when it goes too far. But I had this experience earlier today, which I just felt that I mean the game is Sonic Spinball, and I had to tell you about this. I haven't been playing it for quite a long time, but I just sat down and I was feeling relaxed and I felt there was no worries in my mind. And when it's not no worries in my mind, I don't care what other people think. It's just I just picked this game up again, and it felt just like when I was really into it, like in my preteens. I decided to cross over one world, a toxic cave with three separate rooms, so to speak. And I mean, look at this, it's Sonic Spinball, and the thing with that is, it is a pinball game, but it's also a Sonic game. But it's not like those side scrolling, get there as fast as possible games. It's a little bit more. It requires something else of you, like it demands you to be on your toes when you're playing, but it's not. It's not. You don't have to make such a big effort to play it. And I just played through that first level and that midway stage that came after, where you're actually not the pinball yourself, but you're creating. You're not creating anything. You're controlling Sonic standing at this in front of this pinball table, and that's like midway in between levels. Apart from these actual worlds where you have several rooms to enter, and I just thought it was great. And this is what I'm saying. It was great to play it this time. I mean, in less than 15 minutes, I just kept kept on going on as I was so much in control. And this is what makes it such a good game. It's like you have those flippers you have to move around and to keep catching Sonic, not to fall over or crash into enemies that will bounce you back. The thing is that it's also, since it's a Sonic game, there are some platform elements related to it. Like if you fall down on a certain platform, you need to jump up before this metal-based robo robo dragons, whatever guys in the water in the first area. You need to jump in exactly the right time to make it work to keep on going. And I just kept on going, and this is why I'm telling you. Even the boss fight, I managed like playing it like I have always done with that game. It's not like I lost temper or failed to concentrate in the right time. It's just I mean, Sonic Spinball is that kind of game. It's great, and I mean it's I think it's if you don't have to think about that once or twice, maybe three times. Um, well, is it what is the favorite? What is the best Sonic game? And I know I've already addressed that issue, saying that it's probably Sonic 3D because it's a different concept. It's not just a side scroller, not getting from one side of the screen to the other as fast as possible. It's I mean you have to pick up those wee birds that you save, and you have to bring them with you, and you have to find them. I mean that's a different concept, and it's super good. It's super good, really. It's really good. But I mean, then Sonic Spinball, I've spent so much time with Sonic Spinball, so maybe it's either Sonic 3D or Sonic Spinball out uh, that actually tend to make me more and more aware, like when I play it, that these are this must be. I mean, it's an improvement from the other games, and it's got a different. I mean, Sonic Spinball's got such a different flow to it, and it's not a one-sided type of game. It's got there are the safety lids, and then there are secret areas where you have to spin dash and things like that. It's just so much more than the what the platformers, straightforward platformers, have to offer. And speaking about this, it's just pinball games. I just found out that the bowling alley in this municipality is Sollentuna. Well, where I live and where I've lived for a long, long time, I had some vague memories that they had pinball machines. I was thinking I need to visit the bowling alley to see if they still have it, and I emailed them. And then on this pinball network online, it said that I mean we live between Stockholm and Uppsala, so they said in suburbs we have these three places, and one of those places were the bowling alley in Sollentuna. So it's for me, I'm thinking about going there once a week during the weekends to play actual pinball again, especially that pinball game that looks like a bowling game. Very straightforward. It's just I like that kind of ideas. It's just that I wanted to tell you there's something special about having a Mega Drive because there are really good video-based television screen platformers. Not platforms. I wasn't talking about platforms. I'm talking about pinball games for video game systems. It's just like I had one of those before, Pinball, and just decided I need to go and shop and swap and give that game away for something else. And then I've read about it before. I mean, it's this game crew ball. I was looking for Dragon's Fury to begin with because I had read that crew ball is as fun as you know getting vomit in your underpants. I can't say I agree with that standpoint from Sega Force at the time, but they said if you really must have a pinball game for Mega Drive, this means that you should focus on Dragon's Fury, which I have here now, because it's much more affordable these days. People don't care. People don't care for pinball games at all. And I just have to say, Blue Ball is an amazing video game based pinball game for the I mean, for the time and for the genre, because it's like it's very much so. I hadn't been playing it for years, but I got it like a few weeks ago, and I just decided to play it 4 rounds, and I did 4 pinballs. I had that. That's what I used. I played it over and over and felt just, oh man, this is undemanding gameplay. It's wonderful for me. It's wonderful for everyone. I mean, you don't have to think of ADHD or anything like that because it's just so straightforward. I mean, I've tried Dragon Fury also, and I'm just saying, oh man, that's an amazing game too. It's not like they are in competition with one another. They're two totally different games. And when you can pick up games like that and just play straight away, then you feel that, oh, well, there's some puzzling elements related to Dragon Fury. It's more, I mean, the gameplay is, it goes bit by bit. It's a bit bit by bit, it's a bit more delicate than if you compare to Ball. It's very, I mean, heavy metal pinball. It's very straightforward. I mean, it's like it's very good. It's got the dynamics you need, and you're always in full control. And I was just like, I was about to lose my temper with a game like Sonic, Sonic's Pinball because I just felt that I just couldn't cope with it anymore. But then I just decided to play it today without worrying about anything. And it was like, wow, I'm back. It's 1998 all over again. I could have played more, but I felt entering the second big world. I was thinking, no, I'm fine with this. It's like I have done away with my vicious appetite for playing. I'm feeling, pretty good. And it's been like that like the whole bloody weekend. I've been playing even a difficult game, challenging to. I mean, you had to head around everywhere, and there's so many things on the screen. And this is Tempo for the 32X. It's a really good game, and it's just a platformer, but it's really, really, really good. But it's also very, very, very difficult actually to find your way and to stay alive when you have a life bar, which is such, it's a sensitive life bar that you have. So, I mean, I would advise for you guys to not try and go on that normal mode like I did today, but do the other way around, start at the easy mode because it's still difficult. It's like, even if you play easy, it's still difficult. But if you really want to get to know the game, it's better to start this easy mode because it's a difficult game. And you're like, I don't think anyone can lose temper more than me when it comes to playing because there are arrows pointing the way. It's difficult to detect. Is this something to stay away from, or is it just artwork happening in the background? It's difficult to say, but I mean the song. I mean, when I saw it the first time in YouTube for like 2000 and something something in the noughties, it was just I just understood that, man, this is a wicked game. And I'm not saying wicked as like it's cruel to me or anything like that. I'm just saying it's wicked because it's got this atmosphere. It's wicked in that sense. It's wicked. Like Ball, it's got a wicked atmosphere. And like it's just I getting back to these games, it's like I'm starting to realize. Think about me, I'm physically challenged, I'm mentally challenged, whatever. It's just like, but when you sit down on the sofa and what, I'm gonna play Sonic Spinball once again. I need to get back to that, frame of mind. I can't think about like, oh, it's getting late, whatever. There's nothing to think about. You need to sit yourself down and you need to just play because what I'm talking about here, what I'm talking about is Sonic Spinball. It's not like any other Sonic game really. It's not even like the casino stage in Sonic 2, which brought up new inspiration to make this game later on. It's nothing like that. It's superior to that because the flow is so much better. The flow is so much better. There are some platforming elements, but they're not overdoing it. And it's different from a platform game because you are in like a bona fide pimple environment. But then again, you still have to treat Sonic as if he's a platforming character because you can steer away from the right, you can go to the left, you can control him to some extent. And it's not only using the flippers. You can put some effect into learning how to use the controllers, and the control schemes are simple. If you don't like to think, press A and B for left and right flipper, you can use the C button to flip both of them at the same time. And I mean, that's a wonderful game. And as I said, it's Sonic Spinball. And what you can do with this game is that it does exist. I mean, bonus rounds does exist. I'm not talking about the midway levels bonus. I'm talking about the bonus areas that you get into. and you get into when you play Sonic Pinball. And I'm just saying that you're there. I mean, you get into them if you pick up all the rings. You go into the extra areas. So you can choose to do that, and then it will be a motive for you to keep on playing. Or you can do like I did. If you're wickedly good at this game, you know how to find the shortcuts. You know how to make through the level which without losing any pinballs, and you have to go around. I mean, using your skills to be better at each area and learning if it's simple to move around in this area, I should focus on it because it will give me bonus points in the end and it will generate extra balls. So this is a thing you can do, or you can just choose to go straightforward and try to be. I mean, it's not a straightforward game per se, but you can try to do it in a more straightforward way if you have no patience to like scout around and learn about each area that you go through. If it's just like you want to do it quickly, and that was I did because I remember now. I remember what to do. I remember how to find shortcuts and how to play in a relaxed manner. So it was under 15 minutes, and I just ran through the whole level in a nifty way. And for me, it's like I have fine motoric problems with my hands, but I mean it's not difficult to press the C button, is it? No, it's not difficult. I like putting direction pad left, direction pad right, downwards, upwards. It's not like you're gonna have this analog stick. It has nothing to do with that kind of gameplay. It's simple and it's straightforward, but not straightforward in the way that Screwball is straightforward. It's like it has a gimmicky nature, and people think that's silly. But in this case, I mean, putting Sonic in this type of an environment is just I mean, it's a great idea. I can't say anything else. It's one of the best buddy gaming experience I've ever had. And now it was just stepping back to when I was younger. I had more patience, whatever. I mean, if you see it, when I was smaller than today, I had more patience to sit down and play. What happened was even a bee came and just a wasp came and whatever. Something like that happened to me. And it's like, what? I couldn't even I wasn't aware it was happening to me because I was so much into playing Sonic Pinball. And it's great to have that spirit coming back for you. I mean to you, and that spirit doesn't come for you, it comes to you. It's a state of mind you get into. And like if I discuss these things with Sega Lord X, if I ever should try to do it in writing, it will be a thesis on why this game is right up my alley and why it's like my kind of game. And this is what I think. Number one, I think that pinball games are underrated. That's number one. Number two, I think that Mega Drive is underrated. And number three, talking about it, man or woman, whoever you are that are actually watching this show, I'm saying what happens for me is that I have started to realize that video game based pinball to connect television sets, this genre in gaming is way too underappreciated in the general sense of the word. So this is what I'm saying. This is what I think that you should actually try it. But it's not like you. Some people don't like these kind of things. Find the puzzling thing of being a platformer character in a pinball game. That this is just a challenging idea that makes people confused. And then the only thing people do when they think Sonic, oh, it's nothing like the original games. And I say, who bloody cares if it's like it's like if it's like the original games. It's not like that. That's not like that's an issue for me. I mean, Sonic's Pinball is it's Sonic's Pinball, and that's what I'm saying. This is what it looks. This was an old rental box. It used to be a rental game, and my father picked it up for me. I mean, you don't even have an instruction manual. You have one page telling you the general concept, the basic idea of what the game is about. And then there are some tips, but they are little tips. They are few little tips literally. And what I should say, I don't need the manual anyway, because I mean, learning how to cope with it is half the fun with this game. How you can learn to explore when it's simple for you to get bonus points. You should just focus on that. If you find an area where you can handle the situation, and then you should try to get on where the levels are, in the beginning they're not as challenging. So then you could just take your time to get so much points related to, I mean, playing. If you want to play through the whole game, then it would be good for you if you had, that much bonus points, so you can get extra balls when you need them in, like, the showdown level where you have to face robotic and everything, where he throws you out of the arena, like pushing you away when you try to reach. I mean, it's difficult because there are delicate windows there, so you can only afford to take 3 or 4 hits or 5 hits, or you get thrown out of that area, and it's quite difficult. The showdown level is, I mean, it's challenging. The first level, Toxic Caves, have 3 different areas, but it's not challenging. So if you can keep all your balls intact, and then you get extra extra balls related to that situation. It's really good. Like, if you have the patience to sit through to get far in that game, it's like, wow. The midterm games is like that. I mean, I it was like going to the bonus area. On the other fields, I mean, area on the other levels, there's the getting all the rings is fairly difficult. So you should always try to, like, you use the first level as practice, and then you can just learn to be better and better. And when you have the patience to do it, you can keep on playing the easy areas of the first world, which would be better for you, because this is Sonic Spin. But I've said it before, it's like, it's a great game, and what you can do is just to learn how to play it bit by bit. And it's not just like those other Sonic games, like Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic whatever, those games where the point is to be so, I mean, maximum velocity kind of idea to that. Is, I mean, it's not like that. It's not like gaming. It's all about maximum velocity anyway. I mean, it's a delicate nature uh, is involved in Sonic as well. But it's like, I mean, Dragon's Fury. When trying that, I really understood that this is just, this game has a very different design, a different aim. I mean, it's not fast, but it's tricky, because I mean, there are many small areas, and you have to compensate one area for the other. Which, like, the field to move around opens up when you're on the high ground. When if you're in the middle of the level, it's more tricky, puzzly kind of. I mean, I haven't played Dragon's Fury much, but I realize how people can say that, oh, it's a dynamite game, because it is. But actually, I can't say that True Ball is a bad game either. It's just like, both of them are good games, but in two different ways. And I like, and this now, when I found yet another game that I ordered, a Virtua Pinball, also for Mega Drive. It was like £20 sterling. Speaking about Swedish currency or something like into that. It should have been, I think, yeah, 20 pence sterling. So it just, I mean, that wasn't the law. And like, if I've liked all the pinball games that I've tried, why shouldn't I, when I'm trying to have a low budget game selection, then focusing on that pinball game was a good choice, because it will arrive in like 2 or 3 days, and still, what you see there is, I'm almost sure it's gonna be a very nice game without even having to try it. They said that the cartridge was a little bit ripped, worn out, but I mean, they guarantee it would still be working, and then it's valuable to get like the cheapest game you can find, because I like 32X games, and I like some Saturn games, and they are much more, I mean, they're pricey in comparison to most Mega Drive games. And then we have this underappreciated genre being pinball video games. Like, did I mention Sonic Pinball? Then again, I felt when I played it, it was just like being back in 1998, but not 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 that I was eager or over emphatic about, thinking about how to play. This is not. I just sat down on the couch and I played it. I like it. So this is something I recommend to all of you, and this is why I think no one can compare those games to real pinball games because it's not the same thing. But that doesn't mean that it's bad. It's not bad. It's a challenge in a different way. I mean, it's homey and comfortable to be able to sit in a sofa to play pinball games, and you don't have to stand up till you're on your knees. I mean, I mean, that is a great concept. It's a great kind of idea. And I mean, you can challenge one another if you have two joypads. One gets a high score, and then you can ask, "Can you challenge me? Can you do better than this high score?" And well, then you'll just have to see for yourself. I'm just saying that I was talking mainly, mainly about this game. It's called Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball, as a matter of fact. It says here, don't know if you can see it. You can probably see it, but it means it says it's a 16-bit cartridge. Sega, beat us if you can. I mean, it's a great game. What can I say? I'm starting to repeat myself anyway, but did I tell you this is a Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball, yeah? And it's different from playing the Sonic Spinball game that you have on this handheld consoles because it's a different concept. It's actually much more difficult because you can't get a proper overview. So it's challenging in that kind of way. It's not that it's a bad game either, but it's challenging in a different way because of the design and how it's programmed. People are talking about that Sega of America at this time took the Sonic game character and made Spinball in very much in a hasty way, in a hasty manner, which I don't know. I don't know if they were in a rush creating this game, but like it's not like being in a rush. It doesn't have to mean that it's a shitty game. I mean, it's a good game, and I'm actually happy they decided to make it and finish it quickly because it's a great game. And people say, oh, it's only the main worlds. There are only four different main worlds, and like, who cares? The levels are in like step-by-step kind of difficulty in the way you can arrange games. It's a step-by-step kind of way, and it's nothing to complain about there. And like if you want to learn jobs when you're playing, don't rush your way through the first level because that's the easiest level naturally. So I just those are the tips, a few little tips I would try. Like if you have forgotten that you had a Mega Drive, it's even worth getting a Mega Drive to try this game, and I'm serious about that. I mean, you shouldn't. I mean, when it comes to Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, those four games, I have them on Sonic Jam, but it's not like they interest me in the same way as Sonic Spinball does. The puzzle element that's related to Knuckles Chaotix on 32X, now that's a whole different story. That's a perfect gaming experience. It's like a world of its own. So I don't consider it to be a traditional side scroller from Sonic. It's just the Knuckles 32X game is, it's just a different thing. So I woke up saying, no, Knuckles is the best Sonic game. I mean, you can't just say it's not a Sonic game. It's something else. That's why it's called a Knuckles game. No, I'm not joking around with that. I'm just saying, yeah, man, that's Sonic Spinball over there. You see the walker here? I have a walker where I am inside. This is a Sonic Spinball. You can just realize that's what I think. I think it's perhaps maybe one of the best gaming experience I've ever had since 1998 until now because it just I remember trying it once in like a big grocery store, and then I just ran straight forward and saw the bloody dragon out of metal in the water. I didn't know what to do, so I just spin dashed and fell down in the water even before reaching the actual pinball area, and I didn't know what to do. But this doesn't mean that I did not like it when I actually learned how to play. When my father brought it home because it's actually one of my best gaming experience ever, and probably it will stay that way because it's such a good game. And the thing is, I have an old rental edition of this game. It does not mean that I rented the game and then stole it or something like that. You know what it means having a rental box or a box that used to be a rental game. This means I used to own it, but it's like, yeah, I didn't buy it when it was new. My father found it used, and it was a former rental game, and it was totally worth it. It's like, who cares really? It's a great game, so I need to get some extra copies almost. Because when a game gathers dust like that, as the cartridges do, the old cartridges, then you should perhaps try to even maybe I'm not right now. It's like, but if possible, to at least consider to get more than one copy, so there won't be any. So you won't be losing out on this experience because it's a nice experience because you don't have to put a hell of a lot of offer related to playing it. I mean, it's not advanced in itself, but you can play it in an advanced way if you choose to, like, learn bit by bit every single corner of these worlds. But you can also use to go and have a different approach where you don't have to think about things at all. You don't have to think about at all what you are meant to do. Just, I mean, get a high score. I mean, that doesn't have to. Getting a high score doesn't mean that you have to get into the boss rooms and win those boss fights. It just indicates for you that that's one way. That's one way of playing the game. It's like playing Sonic World on Sonic Jam. This segment is that you go jump on a platform and then you get these simple but really intriguing little tasks to do. Pick up so and so many rings in 1 minute. Do so and so in 1 minute, and it's like that is. I mean, and to be honest with you, the Sonic World segment in Sonic Jam. It's worth getting Sonic Jam to run around in that atmosphere in a 3D world where there's a Sonic museum. You can see trailers, promotion videos for games, and read about crooks and enemies related to the Sonic universe. But still, I mean, just to wander around like that in Sonic World, doing things like picking up rings at the time limit. It's like what you do in Sonic Rally. I mean, sorry, Sonic R. Like you do in Sonic R when you don't care about winning the race, when you just scout around the level to find these secret areas and things like that, or to get as many rings as possible. I mean, that's also really dynamite because it's in a 3D environment. I mean, doing that in Sonic R to look around the levels and find rings and hidden areas is much more fun racing than the actual racing because it's hard to control the characters when you're in that kind of speed, velocity related milieu that you are in because the environment is very messy if you don't know where to head and how to, I mean, brake and how to turn to the left, how to turn to the right. I mean, that's difficult in the rally sense of the word. In the racing game sense of the word. But those games for Sega Saturn, they are. I mean, they're also one of a kind. They're also great games. But like, I mean, Sonic Spinball, when you've had it for so many years, and you like, oh man, I feel like playing Sonic Spinball again. Just pick up and everything goes. It plays like a breeze. I mean, that's a very happy. It's a very dynamite experience. I mean, it's a wicked game, and not in a negative way, as I say. It's wicked in meaning it's good. It blows me away in some aspects that I don't even have to focus much. I can play it in an effortless way. in a manner which is undemanding, which is great for me because I'm that kind of person, you know. I need games like that. I need games like Sonic World, but I can't tell you about it so much because I mean I don't have a Saturn in working order to tell you what is actually the aim of the game when you get a bit further in those missions because I haven't played it in a long time, sadly enough. But picking up Sonic's Pinball after all these years, playing it. I mean, playing it, really getting into it, playing it like I did today. Not just I spend 5 minutes restless, I'll give up. For me, I stopped playing when I wanted to stop playing, and that's totally different. It's just a great experience. Like if you're into gaming, the least, and you think that the way to experience Sonic is by a traditional mm, side-scrolling platformer media, and then I think you need to rethink that. You need to try Sonic Spinball more than once to see because I mean that's a game that not so many words to move around in, sure, but then again it's really worthwhile that you get so much of out of playing the game Sonic Spinball without even having considered it before. Like, could this game really be this way? I mean, is it for real? Yeah, it's for real. It's so for real that you would forget even that there were side-scrolling Sonic games. I think if you get really into Spinball, I mean, it's totally. I mean, I like it. I always say it's a world of its own, and I just think that I'm repeating myself all the time. But in this case, it's actually true, and there's not much really I could say about that. So, to end off like I always do, now this is what I think, and now you know because I've told you honestly, openly, frankly, whatever. What usage in words are you talking about, man? Like, I'm just saying personality traits about how I have been acting now. It's just that I love the game. I mean that just to be honest, that's one of the best experience I've ever had in gaming. Yeah.